welcome to the Back to the Retro review. I am the Bearded Geek. Joining me as always is Mikey the Freak.
What's up?
And Bevo. Today we will be reviewing the movie Mac and Me. Bevo, tell us a little bit about this movie, please.
Okay, an alien trying to escape from NASA is befriended by a wheelchair-bound boy. I've literally told you exactly what this movie is. You don't need to know anything. Don't watch the fucking movie. You now have seen it.
Tell us how you really feel, Bevo.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was a educational experience meant for everyone. And I think Joe Biden appears at the very end.
Yeah, it's basically a movie about aliens who accidentally get sucked into some
giant vacuum cleaner that NASA
cleaner.
spent like $80 million on and sent it to a fucking rock.
Yeah, and they were dismantling this NASA equipment apparently next to a highway because once they escaped, Mac apparently is on the highway. I mean, why would you have a government facility so damn close to the highway?
And what I love about the escape is Mac ends up in the general public, and somehow the rest of the family who escaped the same fucking place ends up in the fucking desert.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, so weird.
Weird. So basically, if you have seen E.T., you have seen this movie. This movie...
No, you haven't.
This is the RC Cola version of E.T.
Dude, this is this is the Lifetime made-for-TV movie of E.T. This is basically all this is.
Take E.T., made it with Yoda from Star Wars, and give every one of them preparation H around their lips, and that's what the movie is. It's a bunch of fucking whistling, weird-ass looking things.
Yes. If you see this movie, you know what this means. We're communicating.
Yes.
We're communicating.
Yes.
Yes, we are very much so.
Yeah. So, I take it you didn't really care for this movie? Is that what you're trying to say? This was like a fun family movie. Yes, no?
Absolutely not. This kind of movie, yeah. No, the cheesiest, the beginning, the first 5 minutes, I wanted to turn the fucking thing off.
Oh, it was so bad.
Wait, you made it 5?
Oh, well,
I'm
maybe 5 seconds. I'm sorry, my time's off.
Dude.
Maybe 5 seconds. But look, I cannot imagine an alien. Just take us, just a normal human being, and put a bodysuit on them with a mask that has the same expression. The whole movie.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Nothing moves.
That's not true. Occasionally he blinks.
He did blink.
Geez, yeah.
And his eyes would do the little twisty twirly thing.
It looks like he's getting anally raped the whole show.
Wow.
Yes. That is very harsh.
Wow. Considering you know what that looks like.
Wouldn't your It just looks like someone's finger slipped. That's it. That's all it is.
Gotcha.
Yes, that.
Ooh.
Yeah, see that? Y'all know what that face is. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is that face. You can look at any pictures or any videos, and yes, they make the same exact face through the entire movie. And
it never changes.
I was tired of looking at it. Like
and the creepiest one in the entire family's the dad.
Oh, dude, the way he walked and his little head bobble thing, it kind of creeped me out a lot.
Yeah, it was like a zombie.
It was like a drunk zombie. It was even worse than a zombie. Like, it made no sense. Let alone towards the end of the movie, he ends up with a fucking gun from a police officer. So that made sense. And immediately knew how it fucking worked. Okay.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And how no one, like when they meet Mac, it's like, yeah, you see this alien and no one's like shocked and scared. They're just like, oh, this is normal. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's fine. What the hell?
There's so much product placement in this movie, and it's shot so much. It's shot like E.T. Like when the boy is going down the street in his wheelchair with the clothes on Mac. That's the bike. That's the bike scene in E.T.
Yes.
The feeding him freaking Skittles is a replacement of Reese's Pieces. I mean, it
was a dollar store ET. Absolutely.
Yeah, Dollar Tree. It's a Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree. It was a Dollar Tree. Don't give it a store.
Props to Coca-Cola and McDonald's, because without that movie, this piece of shit never gets made.
It's basically an advertisement for McDonald's, Coca-Cola.
It is an hour and a half commercial.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes,
pretty much.
Hour and a half commercial that they should have never made.
Never.
I think McDonald's and Coke was doing well in '88. So with Michael Jackson and the "Buy the World a Coke" song, I think they were good in the '80s. I don't think they needed anything else.
And this movie, for being '88, is what killed Coca-Cola and made Pepsi dominant.
This is it. We found the turning point. Yeah. Holy shit!
That's so when did Pepsi overtake Coca-Cola? It was fucking macking me.
I will say this, for it being an '80s movie, just the slightest little good thing about this movie, the costuming itself seemed to have made well. It looked retarded, but it was made well. Like you didn't really see any seams or anything in the.
It looked like they were in Halloween costumes.
Yeah, it honestly looked like just a full bodysuit. You just couldn't tell. It's kind of like Ninja Turtles. Like, it's a full suit, but you can't tell like where the openings and shit like that is. It just looks like a straight up thing.
Like, well, it's probably in the back, and they never had the camera on their back.
I'm trying to find something decent about this movie, and
I did. It's at the very end when it said the end.
The end. Good point. In bubblegum.
Yes, in bubblegum, where it says "We will be back."
No, God,
that's a fucking lie.
No, don't come back. You know,
don't come back.
For the record, while looking up trivia, it actually states that while this movie was in theaters, people were so outraged, especially during the last 5 minutes, when Mac blows out a bubble of from gum and it says "We will be back."
A bubble of
people
from gum.
Booed in the theater. Okay, fucking booed in the theater. That's how shitty this movie was.
Yeah,
it was so shitty that Rotten Tomatoes actually gave it the rear ranking of 0.
No tomatoes for you.
Yeah, no tomatoes.
No tomatoes.
Not even the rotten ones. No tomatoes.
No, none.
If you guys have been following us, you've seen us review movies such as Highlander. Highlander was a great movie compared to this.
We're gonna redo Highlander because of this movie.
No.
Just kidding.
All right, reviews. Let's go. We've bashed it enough. Let's just go ahead and jump into reviews. Bebo, this was your pick. You get to go first.
If we're not going into the negatives for ratings, I'm gonna flat out give it a 0.
Would you recommend it?
Yes, the devil, but only as punishment. Maybe Hitler. But no, this movie was awful. Now, here's what's funny. I remember seeing this when I was like knee-high to a duck, when I was a child. And I didn't really remember the movie that much. So I rewatched it.
Knee-high to a duck? You're not from Polk County, homie.
Knee-high to a duck.
Sorry, knee-high to a swan. I'm from Lakeland.
There you go.
But no, this movie sucks so bad rewatching it that like I'm just sitting here and I'm like, oh my God, the other guys are gonna kill me for picking this fucking movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is
this computer.
My favorite thing was when you guys sent out the message saying, what's our movie going to be this week? And I was like, I got to choose a shitty movie. And I chose Mac and Me. And getting Mikey's reply in that, which just was simply, fuck you, Brian.
Because I remember this movie also when I was knee-high to a swan. And and I remembered how bad the movie was, because when I started watching this movie, I watched HBO a lot when I was little, and I remember it coming on, and I'm like, oh, it's E.T., and I'm like, wait a minute,
no,
what is this movie called? Mac and Me. All right, I'll watch it. And I think that's the only time I ever watched it.
Well,
Ever.
I
But it
remember
had
watching
such
it
a
when I was a
bad
kid,
influence on my
and for
life.
some reason,
It was
at least according
burned.
to my mother, I
Burned
liked
a
it.
middle image.
According to my mother, I liked this movie when I was younger, and I do remember at least watching the movie. My
Yes.
mom still loves this movie. Like I told her we were choosing this movie, and she goes, "Oh my god, I love Mac and Me." I'm like, "Mom, I will give you all the money to guarantee that it's not hold up."
She must not have seen it anytime recently. Did you give your rating? Bebo, did you give your rating?
Yes, 0.
Straight up 0.
Straight up 0. There was nothing. The only thing I liked about this movie was the older sister who lived next door. Who was also in Can't Buy Me Love. Okay. She was the only person I actually enjoyed in the movie, and it's only because she was good looking. I'm not gonna lie. The rest of this movie sucked.
All right, Mikey, the freak. How about you, man?
Man, yeah, I'm straight on the same page as Bebo there. A solid 0 with a line through it. So just add some shit to it. It's not a movie I would ever recommend. And like I said before, I only remembered the movie because I did watch it when I was little. So I remembered the name, but that's just how we always are. You know, you could say an old 80s movie when we were growing up and be like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. And then when you rewatch it now, you're like, yeah, I don't know why I liked it. Maybe I didn't like it back then, but I remember the name and I remembered the movie. So it was interesting. Be like, okay, let's watch it again. And I hated the movie. It was absolutely horrible.
And for the record, none of us is getting that hour and a half of our lives back.
No, absolutely not. So the first 10, 15 seconds of the movie, you see the outfits that these aliens are, and it's like something that you could throw on and be a Halloween costume, one piece of unitard or leotard or whatever the type of material it was. And, retard. With one of those old 80s masks. You know how the old 80s Halloween costumes?
Yeah, the ones with the staples on the side.
The shit that cut your face? Absolutely, yeah. That's what it looked like they were wearing. And I'm like, this can't be good. The rest of this hour cannot be good at all.
You got to be honest, though. You had to be looking forward to the movie within the first 5 seconds. You see this alien who looks just like you described with a fucking straw sticking it in the dirt going for water.
Yes. Or was it Coca-Cola?
It could have been Coca-Cola.
It could have been Coca-Cola.
Yes. Could have been. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Coca-Cola's from outer space.
They took so much, and that's why we referenced ET a lot. We talked about it earlier that they referenced so much shit from ET that it was almost like another ET movie, but it was a Dollar Tree ET. There was way too much that was the same. ET was extraterrestrial, and Mac was a mysterious alien creature. MAC. So it's like, oh, let's just make some shit up and make it exactly the same. So a very cheap knockoff of ET made by Coca-Cola and McDonald's. They probably shouldn't have. And Skittles, yeah, they shouldn't have wasted their money, and they should have put more money into their food.
Yes.
And made it better for us now. Here in 2021. But yeah, solid 0, and I would never recommend this to anyone ever.
Well, this was my first time seeing this movie ever. I've heard of this movie. I've never seen this movie, and like you said, within the first 10 to 15 seconds of this movie, I'm like, I put in the chat, like, I'm 5 minutes in and I want to turn this off. Like it was that bad. Like I did not want to finish this.
We don't usually text each other during like watching this, but it seemed that it was something everybody wanted to do on this one. Like, yeah, fuck you, Brian.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was really bad. I too am going to have to give this a 0. So this movie gets the very first 000. So it does have that honorary distinction.
We do agree with Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, I will not recommend this to anyone ever. I wouldn't even recommend this for somebody as punishment because that's just cruel. It's it's bad.
This is what they show at like Gitmo and shit like that. It's
Uh-huh.
just this on a fucking loop.
Oh, it. You know what? You know what this would
Torture.
make.
Straight torture.
This would make a great house at Halloween at Horror Nights or something like that. Is a Mac and Me house because it's just bad. It's so bad it's scary.
Now, I will say this: the only redeeming quality to this movie happens to be with Conan O'Brien, because every time Paul Rudd goes on that damn show, regardless of what movie he is there to promote, when they go to show the clip for the movie he's promoting, he always makes them play the scene in this movie where the kid in the wheelchair is going down a hill, can't stop, and goes off the edge of a cliff and lands in like this little lake.
Yeah.
But every time he's on, he does this, and this is going back for years. He's been doing this. So for those of y'all who don't know what Mac and Me is, just watch a clip from Conan when Paul Rudd's on. They're going to show a minor clip. That's all you need to see at Mac and Me. Don't need to see anything else. The fact that the Razzies of all people have given Ronald McDonald himself a Razzie for Best New Star because of this movie, and is the only fictional character to ever get one, tells you something about this movie. This movie sucked.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Straight zeros across the board. Bebo, do you have any more interesting facts or
I got a couple of things here. Again, like I said about the superimposed title, we will be back, where it freeze framed on it, that says it was such a dismal box office failure that the proposed sequel was never made. Fucking shocker.
Oh, thank God. No. That's such a good thing. I mean, like
the kid in the wheelchair in the movie, his name in real life is Jade Caligory, and he's actually got spinal bifida, so he is actually in a wheelchair. He's only done 3 things that I could see, and now I think he is like a photographer or something like that, has his own studio. Let me see here. There was a cameo apparently from Jennifer Aniston in this movie. It says she was listed as an uncredited extra sitting on a curb watching the dancers in the McDonald's parking lot scene. This what I loved is the female lead, which I'm hoping is like, I'm guessing the mom, was offered to Kim Basinger and Angelica Houston. They both turned it down, so they knew what the hell it was for. But one of my favorite things is a review in the Washington Post about this movie. Richard Harrington wrote, "In fact, Mac and Me could just as well have been called OT, the other terrestrial. So frequent and clumsy are its references to E.T., the extraterrestrial. Forget about calling home, E.T. call lawyer." It was just, this movie's horrible, and there's so many things in the like trivia section about this, but it's all about how shitty the movie is, and we've already discussed that. So
yeah.
Mikey, do you have any anything to add?
No, yeah, there wasn't much on this movie other than what Bebo just said. It was very Jennifer Aniston's kind of a first role. The Angelica Houston, Kim Basinger, they had other shit to do.
Gotcha.
It's that simple.
No,
Kim Basinger
no, they didn't. They just knew better.
Yeah, well, Kim Basinger went on to do Batman, a couple years later, and then or next year, and Angelica Houston was doing The Witches. So at that point, so I think they were glad that they didn't pick this movie, because it could have been a real career suicide.
Yes.
For them at that point.
Well, I do have a couple, retro movie memorabilia items. Only a few, because it's hard to find anything because it's so
they're
bad.
all at the Goodwill.
That's not true. Goodwill wouldn't accept this shit.
That's right.
They said, no. We can't sell that shit for free, man.
No.
What you talking about?
Take it to the Salvation Army.
You could get a Mac and Me poster print, which is very rare, off of eBay for $400. It is him doing the Yes. And then the only other thing is both of them are $200 each. A Mac and Me 1988 Japanese original VHS and a Mac and Me VHS movie sealed on eBay as well. Both of them $200 each for a sealed.
$200.
Yeah, for a crappy movie.
Whoever buys those needs to be drug tested. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever's selling those need to be drug tested.
Well, I'm sure there's a collector of people out there who collect bombs, box office bombs and stuff like that. There has to be. Hey, look, if there's people out there with foot fetishes, there has to be people out there with collect this.
It's the same guy.
It's the same one.
I get it. Did you see the feet on those dang aliens? They're freaking huge. All right, guys.
That's a horrible movie.
All right, everybody. So apparently, go out and see this movie if you want to torture yourself. Other than that, please.
Or your kids.
Yeah. Other than that, please stay away. Please stay away. So I would think that does it for this episode of Back to the Retro Review. For Mikey the Freaking Bebo, I am the Bearded Geek. Keep it retro, everybody.
See ya.